What's up, what's up, my fellow comic book readers and comic book fans? Today I'm going to be talking about, in my mind, one of the most classic comic books that took place in the 1980s. If you all know, the 1980s, at least to me and from what I see, is one of the most pivotal moments in comic book history. During the 80s, we had huge, groundbreaking events. The introduction of miniseries, the DC's Crisis on Infinite Earth, Marvel Secret Wars events, which was one of the longest miniseries at that time, which spanned 12 miniseries. Then DC tagged along with their 12 edition miniseries about Crisis on Infinite Earth. We had the death of Jean Grey, we had the death of Barry Allen, and then back in the 1980s when a superhero died, hey, they was not playing. Those characters died for at least 20 years or more. I better say 10 years. They at least were dead for about 10 plus years. Now, when a hero or a villain die, they may just be dead for, I say at most 2 years. How many times have we had Wolverine died? I don't collect a Wolverine anymore, but I've always heard about him missing, getting killed. He's lost his adamantium skeleton, whatever. So the 1980s was the pivotal point of comic book history in my mind. That's when DC began its first relaunch. And that first relaunch occurred in 1980 and it lasted for about 30 long years. There was no new 52. Oh, we made a mistake, so we gotta get rid of the new 52. The new Superman, as you saw, oh, he's not working out well, so we gotta kill him off and bring back the Superman from the 1980s. So you all see, my good people, the 1980s was a pivotal time in comic book history. Now I'm gonna be talking about one issue that hooked me to getting comic books. I'm going to be talking about Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 78. So, if you have not read or you have seen Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man 78, it's an issue worth getting. It truly is. Because in that edition, that's one of the first times that I've ever seen Spider-Man go through serious remorse. At that time, if you read the edition, he and Doctor Octopus was getting in an intense battle. Doctor Octopus was whipping the floor with Spider-Man. Doctor Octopus he even got to the point where he said, "Look, I'm tired of playing game with you, Spider-Man. Get your life, get your family matters in order, because the next time we meet, you will die." And that issue right there, number 78, Spider-Man or Peter Parker was going around saying his final goodbyes to all his family members and friends. He went to Flash Thompson, his lifelong nemesis in high school, to say goodbye, Flash. He went to the Daily Bugle. He got into a little argument with Jonah Jameson like usual about over his pay for photographs, but he went to the Bugle basically to say his farewells. Now, a love interest he had at the time was the Black Cat. If you know anything about Spider-Man, he had many girlfriends, many of them. Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane Watson, Black Cat, and the Black Cat is the only one participate in a superhero arena. She's a costume, quote, vigilante. And one of those editions, because it happened so long ago, about 30 years ago, she became severely injured. I think Dr. Octopus severely injured her, and he had her in the hospital. Octopus got tired of her and Spider-Man, so he severely injured the black cat and had her in the hospital under police guard. So no one can come in there and try to axe up, cut her throat, whatever. So Spider-Man was even going to her to say his final goodbye to her. He even got to the point with her, he did something that we rarely ever see with Spider-Man or Peter Parker. He was going to reveal his secret identity to her, to let her know, this is who I really am. But, being a comic book, something happened to interrupt that tender moment between Spider-Man and the Black Cat, so he didn't get the chance to reveal who he was. The person who interrupted that ordeal, or that tender moment, was Dr. Octavius Octopus, one of his illustrious, long-time villain. Now, I'm going on a slight tangent. One good thing about Spider-Man, he do have a number of worthy super villain opponents. He has the Sandman, that's one. He has Dr. Octopus, who's in this edition I'm talking about, that's two. He has the Hobgoblin, who's a recent addition to his rogues gallery. And we had the classic Green Goblin. Right there, I named 4 key villains who always add interest to the Spider-Man books. You know it's more than that. It's more than those 4, but those are the 4 classics. But anyway, going back to the story, Dr. Octopus, he came to the hospital to have his final showdown with Spider-Man. Now, in that edition, number 78, it didn't show them fighting. I'm not going to tell you what happened. The issue ended with Octopus, with his arms scattering up the hospital wall to get Spider-Man. I don't know how you know Spider-Man was in that hospital room, because back during the 1980s, there wasn't that much technology around. We didn't have the internet in 1984, 85, 86. There was no internet. There was no clone technology, or what you call it, there was no drone technology where you have a drone spying on a building. 1980, the year that I was a young child in, an early teenager, there was no sophisticated technology. You didn't have no little teeny camera where you can spy, where you can put it in the corner and spy somebody. That technology did not exist. So I don't know how in the world that Dr. Octavius knew that Spider-Man was in that room with black cats. Hey, he could have been peeping from a building, but that seems like a weirdo. He's in the building next door, peeping, waiting for Spider-Man to come. That sounds strange and deranged. Now, we all know that Dr. Octavius is a genius-level intellect. In that issue, I did not like how they betrayed him. They had him in the sewers. When he was getting away from Spider-Man, he was in the sewers with the vermin. He's a genius-level intellect. They could at least show him in his lab on some cave. He was running around, walking around like a common criminal. That man is a scientist with a PhD. And when you're a scientist with a PhD, you're doing your research work. They should have showed him doing that. No, he's in the gutter. He's in the sewer system, walking around with the rats, the roaches, the filthy, that water down there. I wish they would have betrayed him better. So, like I said, that's one of the most pivotal issues that changed my moment, that had me waiting for the next issue as if I was waiting for a level. To see the next issue where he and Octavius really battle. Because up until that time, because y'all know Spider-Man, he's a very powerful person. But most of the time when he's fighting a human being, whether they have mechanical arms or not, whether he's fighting a supervillain, he's always holding back his full power. So before that incident, when Dr. Octopus was threatening him, at that time he was still holding back. Because if he cut loose, there are very few people in comic books who can stop Spider-Man when he cut loose. Now you have to be a speedster like Quicksilver to elude Spider-Man or to capture him. But a normal human being like the Hulk, which I've seen before, Thor, the Thing, Mr. Fantastic, Those people cannot lay a glove on Spider-Man when he's I better say this, when he's 60% at his best, because he's so quick and fast. So, Dr. Octavius, he really was fighting a Spider-Man who was holding back, because if Spider-Man wasn't holding back, he would have whipped the floor of Octavius. And you know how Peter Parker is, ladies and gentlemen. He always has mental barriers in his mind, always holding him back. So when Octavius was beating him up in that issue and prior issues, you know, Peter Parker, he always doubting himself a lot. So, it was an enjoyable issue. I loved it when we got to see Peter Parker show sympathy and care for his family members by going to visit each one, whether they was a loved one or an enemy to Peter Parker. He made sure he went around in some way, told them in his own way, because he could not tell them that he was Spider-Man, but he made them understand in some way that he did love them and he did care for them. He couldn't say, I'm going to fight Dr. Octavius, I may not be back. But he had to show them to the best of his ability that he loved them and cared for them. And him dealing with Aunt May is always a touching moment. So I hope y'all get the chance to read Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, issue 78, where you get to see Spider-Man at a vulnerable moment. Peter Parker at a vulnerable moment for the whole issue. We rarely see that in comic books, where people spend a whole issue just sharing their love for other people. I think that's why it's touched me so much. That's why I still have one place in my heart, because it shows how humane and human Peter Parker was. Alright, thank you. If you like my little synopsis about one of my favorite comic books, please leave a thumbs up. If you'd like to join and hear about other comic books that I love, please subscribe. You all take care. Have a good day.